The kitchen clock ticked like a heartbeat, each second a hammer against my skull. I stood frozen, the ultrasound photo trembling in my hand, its grainy black and white image searing into my brain. A tiny curled shape, a baby. My wife's baby. But the date stamped on the corner, smudged by my sweating fingers, was from 2 months ago. 2 months ago, when I was sterile from chemo, unable to father a child. The realization hit like a fist to the gut, stealing my breath, leaving only the echo of betrayal ringing in my ears. Lila's keys jangled in the lock, and my heart lurched. I shoved the photo back into the drawer, beneath her neatly folded scarves, as if hiding it could erase the truth. The front door creaked open, and her laughter floated in, bright and careless, mingling with a man's low chuckle. My stomach churned. I knew that voice, Tom, her co-worker, the one she'd been staying late with for project deadlines. I gripped the counter, the cold granite biting into my palms, and forced a smile as she stepped into the kitchen. Evan, you're home early. Lila's eyes sparkled, her chestnut hair catching the afternoon light filtering through the window. She wore that red dress I loved, the one that clung to her curves like a promise. Tom lingered behind her, his lanky frame filling the doorway, his grin too easy, too familiar. Yeah, I said, my voice rough, like I'd swallowed glass. Got off early. Thought I'd surprise you. My gaze flicked to Tom, whose smile faltered for a split second before he recovered. Tom was just dropping off some files, Lila said quickly, her hand brushing his arm as she gestured to the folder he held. Big presentation tomorrow. Right. I nodded, my eyes locked on her hand, still resting on his sleeve. The room felt too small, the air thick with something unspoken. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but the words stuck in my throat, heavy as lead. Tom cleared his throat. I should get going. Good to see you, Evan. He clapped my shoulder, his touch lingering a beat too long, and I fought the urge to shove him away. The door clicked shut behind him, and Lila busied herself at the sink, humming softly, as if the world hadn't just cracked open beneath me. I watched her, my wife of 7 years, her movements fluid, untroubled. How long had she known? Had she felt the baby kick while lying beside me? Her secrets nestled between us like a blade? My mind raced, replaying months of subtle shifts, her late nights, her distracted smiles, the way she'd started locking her phone. I'd chalked it up to stress, to my own recovery draining her. Now each memory twisted, sharp and accusing. Lila, I said, my voice low, barely steady. We need to talk. Her shoulders stiffened, the sponge pausing mid-scrub. She turned, her eyes searching mine, and for a moment, I saw a flicker of fear, or was it guilt? About what? She asked, her tone light, but her fingers gripped the counter's edge. I opened my mouth, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, I pulled the drawer open and lifted the ultrasound photo, holding it between us like evidence in a trial. Her face drained of color, her lips parting in a silent gasp. The silence stretched, heavy, suffocating, until she whispered, Evan, I can explain. Explain. My voice cracked, anger and hurt colliding in my chest. Explain how you're pregnant when I can't. I stopped, my throat tightening. Whose is it, Lila? Her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't look away. It's complicated, she said, her voice barely audible. I didn't mean for this to happen. Complicated. The word was a slap, vague and cowardly. I wanted to shake her, to demand names, dates, truths. Instead, I sank into a chair, the photo crumpling in my fist. Tell me, I said, my voice hollow. All of it. She sat across from me, her hands twisting in her lap, and the story spilled out in fragments. It started innocently, she said, late nights at work, shared coffees, Tom's easy humor pulling her in when I was too sick to notice her. You were so distant, she said, her voice breaking. The cancer, the treatments. I felt so alone, Evan. I didn't mean to fall for him. Fall for him. The words carved into me, each syllable a fresh wound. I saw us in flashes, our wedding on the beach, her laughter as we danced under the stars, the way she held my hand through every chemo session. Had it all been a lie? So what now? I asked, my voice raw. You love him. She hesitated, and that pause was worse than any answer. I love you, she said finally, but it sounded like a plea, not a promise. I want us to work. I want this baby with you. I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. With me? Lila, it's not mine. The truth hung between us, undeniable now. I waited for her to deny it, to fight, but she only looked down, tears spilling onto her clasped hands. I have a proposal, she said softly, and my heart stuttered. She slid a ring across the table, not her wedding band, but a new one, simple and silver. We can raise this baby together. As ours. No one has to know. The room spun. Her words were a punch, audacious and cruel in their hopefulness. She wanted me to play father to another man's child, to swallow my pride, my pain, and build a life on this lie. I stared at the ring, its gleam mocking me, and saw Tom's grin, his hand on her arm, their laughter echoing in my home. Why? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Why would you think I'd agree to this? Because you love me, she said, her eyes pleading. Because we can still be a family. I stood, my chair scraping against the floor, the sound harsh in the quiet. My mind churned with images, her with Tom, their secret moments, the life growing inside her that wasn't mine. I thought of the nights I'd held her, believing we were unbreakable, and the rage boiled over, tempered only by a bone-deep sorrow. I need time, I said, grabbing my coat. She called after me, but I didn't turn back. The night air was cold, the streetlights casting long shadows as I walked, the ultrasound photo still clutched in my hand. I stopped at a bridge, the river below dark and restless, mirroring the storm in my chest. I could tear the photo, let it sink into the water, pretend I'd never seen it. Or I could go back, confront Tom, demand answers. But as I stood there, the wind biting my face, a new thought emerged, sharp and dangerous. What if I said yes? What if I took her deal, raised the child, and let the lie consume us both? The photo slipped from my fingers, fluttering into the river, and I watched it vanish, knowing the choice I made next would break us. Whether I stayed or walked away,